say, here at Kajun Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it.
I say, this is Johnny's place, where you can have it for no problem. I got the dollars.
Fixed income, no credit, back credit. Here at Cajun Roots Reseller, that's no problem.
Let him have it.
I've got my dollars and I sit in my best offer.
We say, yes. See the special man. The easiest man on YouTube.
You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it with no problem.
Hello, and good morning, and welcome on this Friday, TGIF. How's everybody doing today? It is currently 73 degrees, supposed to be high winds today here in Illinois. Good morning and welcome. First in the chat is Stacy. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Yorn again. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Michael. Hello, good morning and welcome. And thank you for gifting. I just noticed that when I went back to the chat, you gifted and it went to Jennifer. Congratulations, Jennifer, and thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. This is for you, our first chair dance of the morning.
The dollars, let me have it, please. I got the dollars. Let him have it. You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it with no problem. Let him have it.
And thank you very much, Michael, and greatly appreciated. And Jennifer, this is for you.
Attention, new member. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend and family member of the Cajun Roots Reseller channel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let's see, Creative Creations, Miss D, hello, good morning and welcome. And Andrew, hello, good morning and welcome. And Michael, thank you again very much. Now that's what he's doing it for, so you can sell on the show, huh? You're always welcome, Jennifer. Mona, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Jeffrey, hello, good morning and welcome. How are you doing? Last night's fireworks, I didn't get to see any videos yet. I was doing a lot of little clip those videos to this morning. And John, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Johnny, I am at 4. Well, awesome, Jeffrey. Keep up the good work. Jamie, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. There's our featured channel of the week. Check it out. Thank you very much, Jennifer. And hello, good morning and welcome, Jennifer. Wallflower, hello, good morning and welcome. And Angela, well, hello, good morning and welcome to you too. How you doing? There's Dee Dee, hello, good morning and welcome. And Helen, hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Good to see y'all. All right, today's calendar of events are as follows. There's a lot today. Let's see here. Starting at 10 o'clock is Saved Here First with Adventures with Victoria on their auctions on Friday at 10 a.m. And then, of course, you have Stacey May Catitudes. She does her live crafting 7 days a week at 10 a.m. 11:30 is Jackass Retro. At 12 o'clock, 12:30 is Nora, the Stock Explorer. And then at 1 o'clock is Let's Do Lunch Podcast. 2:30 is Janice with her twin sister sale. 4 o'clock is Southern Vintage. At 5 o'clock is New England Thrifter Helen. At 5 o'clock is Simon Says, Let's Make a Deal. And at 6 o'clock is also Deb's Wood Burning. Also at 6 o'clock is Jimmy to Flip It. He does his Friday in live listing show. And that's a great way if you need to learn more or want to learn more about getting into ephemera. That's the place to be. Let's see here. 6 o'clock is Mona Did What with her Sew and Chat. 6:45 is I Spy Queen. That's Anitra. 7 o'clock is Steve Looking for Silver. And then at 7 o'clock is Treasures Found Jeff with his live sale auction. At 7:30 is Miss Hall Diggs live for no reason. Especially if you're looking into getting to Amazon and you have questions, that's the place to be tonight, 7:30. And then at 8 o'clock is Horizon Picks comic sale, and that's also with none other than Angry Otter Comics every Friday at 8 o'clock. And then also at 8 o'clock is Old Time Gems and Antiques with Melissa. At 8:30 is Living My Best Life at 60. And today's show topic is Words on Stream. At 9 o'clock is Vintage Jewels, Gems, and Pearls. And that is Margie. And at midnight is Steph Sells Stuff by the Seashore. And if you didn't hear your channel name and you have an event and you would like to be put on the calendar, make sure you go down to the community tab. Leave me a comment on the post where the calendar's at, and I'll be glad to add you. If it's a lot, just email me your information. I'll be glad to add it there as well. Craig, hello, good morning, and welcome, sir. How are you doing? Good to see you. Lisa, hello, good morning, and welcome, and how are you doing? Mark, hello, good morning, and welcome. I will be guest on Horizon Picks tonight. This will be my last live for a while since preparing to build out the stores. Oh, that's right. It's that time of year. I don't know if y'all know, but Michael does a lot of the spirit stores for Halloween. And it's going to be that time. He'll have to get them ready. They seem like they're starting early every year. It's storage auction day, only one target. Well, good luck with that one, Mark. And Hetty, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. So yesterday we took a trip to Janesville, Wisconsin. Went to a couple of we did some LCSs. We did antique shops. We went to a pawn shop. That was a first. It was actually pretty cool. We found some good silver. Yep. So that's what we did yesterday. And then I stayed up late last night. Lord Jesus. I don't know how y'all do it. Because I was still up. I was up late this morning, though. Usually I'm up early. To me, it's late. All right. And there's Jennifer's links, y'all. If y'all haven't checked out Jennifer's channel yet or her Etsy store. And there's her Buy Her Milkshake to show her some love and support for everything she does for us and all chats that she is in. Let's see. Peddling Profits. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Yes. This Sunday, we're flying back home. So next week, all shows will be back on as the regular scheduled programs from Massachusetts. We'll be back home next week. I'll be doing all my thumbnails tomorrow. I did one Saturday as usual. I might do them this afternoon, depending on what we got going on today. Other than that, that's all I got going on today. And then I got to start working on some more videos for next week. Last night I was up in a lot of chats. Lord, I don't know how y'all do it, but I was channel hopping again last night. And then you get in that rabbit hole and you're like, okay, I got to stay. I can't leave. Then I want to go to bed. Then I stay up and got a second win. I normally go to bed about midnight and get up around 8. Yeah, that's too late for me, 8 o'clock. But I usually go to bed that late, but I did. We're on vacation. We're at the lake house, so why not, you know? Today we're going to be doing a Q&A all about Etsy. And, of course, Laura will be here as soon as she can. I think she's still taking her kids to school. So she will be here when she gets back. I don't have any updates or anything like that unless she has them that I don't know about. Because usually she emails me links that we're going to talk about. But I think she had some things left from we were talking about last week that we'll probably cover today. So get your questions. If you have any questions about Etsy and you're thinking about getting into Etsy, but you just haven't taken that step yet, we'll talk about that today. All right. Hope have a great Friday and hope I have a great trip back. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, we'll be back home Sunday. We're flying back. Yep. We're flying back early, I think. I think our flight's early. Well, we're going to know for sure. But other than that, we've been chilling. Got some things done. This morning, I got an appointment for the guy that's going to be coming out here at 10 o'clock to get our estimate for our wraparound deck to be destroyed, taken away, and put a new deck. So we'll get him. He's coming out today at 10. So I got that last appointment. It's going to get done eventually, but we got to get an estimate first. So we got a second estimate coming today. Other than that, so I don't know. I think tomorrow we're going to go to an LCS in Rockford with Robert's sister. As far as I know, that's all I know we got planned for tomorrow. I'm not sure until it happens. What does everybody have planned for this weekend? Any special plans? There's Margie. Hello, good morning and welcome, Margie. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Other than that, that's all we got planned. And of course, Sunday is back home. So I got to make sure I get everything done here. Probably will be packing some items, maybe a box or two to send back home, so I ain't got to carry it. Because I know luggage is only you can only be 50 pounds. And if I pack everything I bought, yeah. So I'm going to probably do that, which I got to do that today so I can get it out the door today. Danielle, hello, good morning and welcome. That's one of the things about reselling. You can get your own labels and then bring it to the post office. That's what I did last time. But last time I did UPS because I had 5 boxes. Yeah. Well, hope you have a great time, Jeffrey. Good morning, Mark. How are you doing? Working and looking both. Having a tooth issue is sorry to hear that, Mark. That's never fun. All right, everyone. So if you are here about Q&A all about Etsy, you've come to the right place. If you have any questions, please make sure you do write them in the chat. Make sure you do put the word question all in caps. So I'll get to catch that question for you because we don't want to miss your questions. We want to make sure we get them answered for you. And again, if we don't have our answers, we will make sure to get that for you on the next Friday show. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Working Patrick. Hello, good morning. Lord Jesus, child, I was laughing so hard last night. I was in the chat, but I wasn't because I was channel hopping. You were something else last night on the Two Beardos last night. I was watching it, but I was watching other channels too. So, Ashley, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Now, without further ado, let's bring on none other than Laura, DzinesLaura. Our Q&A questions all about Etsy today. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a happy Friday.
Yes. Sorting new and old inventory organizing is all this weekend. Awesome. Yeah, but that's always an ongoing chore for organizing. So how you been? How you doing? Any new pieces lately?
Yes, I've been doing great. I've been working hard. I've been playing hard, and I have new stuff. So yes. Hi, Angela. Thank you for being here. We have some new people here. Yay.
Yeah. Well, Angela's been with our channel for quite a while, but she's been pretty busy. But it was good to see her back in the chat. So for those who don't know what we're doing here on Fridays, it's always Q&A all about Etsy. I do take all the morning shows with Q&As and I download them and then re-upload them into a short video or shorter. Let me just say that because usually our morning shows last about an hour and a half. And then I take those videos and turn them into about 30, 35 minutes. And so if you have missed any of the ones in the past, you're welcome to go down to the playlist. But I also have it available in podcast for YouTube. So what we're going to do is I want Laura to go ahead and introduce herself for those who may not know who you are. Don't forget about your disclosure, and then we'll get started.
Okay. All right. Well, my name's Laura. My business name is DzinesLaura. I have been creating and selling jewelry and selling it for 30 years. My first craft fair was in 1993. I made my first internet sale on Etsy 11 years ago, and I made my first YouTube sale this year. Actually, it's getting close to 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem possible, does it?
Yeah, but it just seemed like it was yesterday.
It does. But then I think about other things, and it's like, has it only been that long? You know how it can be either way. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. I'm here, I met Johnny through another YouTuber, and I think I've been here every single day since I first started coming here. And you asked for someone who knew a little bit about Etsy. I know enough about Etsy to stay out of trouble, but I'm definitely not an expert. I usually refer to the Etsy handbook or the terms of use for my answers. So
Right. And I think that's the safest thing to do for any platform, actually, is trying to know what you can and can't do and what you can't get away with, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. There's fuzzy areas too.
Right. Now also promote yourself as far as what you got going on your channel.
Okay, well, I'm in the middle of trying out a new schedule, and so far it's working out. My next YouTube sale is not today because I'm going every other Friday, every other Monday. So actually my next sale will be July 14th. It's an evening sale, and then Monday is a daytime sale. And I did that just because of how many messages I would get, especially after doing the Jewel-a-thon or after doing the family marathon. People were, well, I can't watch you in the daytime. So I went ahead and split it up into part 1 and part 2 of Friday evening, which is kind of a little more off the chain in a good way. Everything was kind and pleasant, but there was a lot of laughing and joking going on. It's Friday night hangout. And then Monday was a little more calm, and where I showed, focused more on showing the items and answering questions. But it was very fun. I showed new items that weren't jewelry but I did make them. Very well received. So, and more requests. And I just wanted to say the request for Art Deco, I did source some new Art Deco silverware on the way. I did find some more sprinkling cans. So it's a lot of work. I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I'm getting there.
So on you, by the way, all her information, including her YouTube channel, her website, and her Etsy store, all of that is in the description bar below. Jennifer has been dropping links in the chat, so if you missed it, definitely go down in the description bar. You can catch that there. It's usually all those that I do shows with, their information is like kind of at the top of the description, so you don't miss it. That way, if you want to check out her website and or her Etsy store, and that way you can make sure if you're subscribed, because that way you get the notifications turned on, so you don't miss out when she does do a live.
Yeah, and I'm having a lot of people send messages saying they missed it, and so I kind of have a very small list of people who have asked me to notify them. So, don't go sending out email blasts unless you're asked to do so. So if anybody does want to be notified by email, probably the day before, you're welcome to reach out and I'll add you to that list. It's very small, but I will do it. Thank you, Jennifer.
Good morning, Pam. So if you have any questions about Etsy and you're thinking about getting on the selling on Etsy, but you just haven't taken that step yet, you've come to the right place. Make sure you do ask your questions in the chat, because we want to make sure you do walk away with any answers you may have. We can get for you for the questions you're thinking about. Good morning, Lisa. How are you doing? Good morning, hello, and welcome. And I noticed you went live, Lisa, the last couple of days. I can't remember what day it was, but I saw you went live on your channel. Congratulations, taking that step. So out of curiosity, is there anything new that we need to know about? I know the 9th is the new shipping policy, the new shipping thing going on.
Yep, Ground Advantage.
All platforms have been sending out notifications, letting us know the 9th is the day. Do you think that's going to affect anything that we're doing on Etsy when it comes to sales?
Well, and the 9th is a Sunday, so really, if you buy in your labels on Sunday for Monday, you're going to see a difference. Okay. Yep. Of course, there's going to be so many questions. I can't really, in my mind, I'm preparing for the worst, hoping for the best, if that makes sense at all. Now, I did a lot of shipping yesterday, and I do it from pirate ship. So I had some items that were like 7 ounces, my first class packages that were 7 ounces. When you go into pirate ship, you can pick an advanced date. So I did compare rates from what I shipped yesterday to what it would have been on the 10th. Okay. The price stayed the same, but on pirate ship up at the top, it did say Ground Advantage. So they did switch the name. Pirate ship is prepared, and underneath that, in small type, it said includes $100 of insurance. But the price remained the same. Now remember, that was only for like an 8-ounce first class package. Okay. I don't know if it's going to go higher for your first class packages. Maybe you're sending something out in a 6x6 box. So I don't know yet, but I did play around with it, and so far everything was the same. One thing that I'm preparing for, I've never had this experience because I pretty much only ship first class and bubble mailers with the jewelry, but I have heard other very experienced sellers say that the first class packages in the current system get a little bit less abuse because most of the package they travel with are lightweight. But now it sounds like if that statement is correct, I've never had a damage. What I'm preparing for is overprotecting my packages, because if it's true now that the first class is mixed in with ground and heavier packages, they may get rougher treatment. Now, I'm not saying that. This is just me getting prepared for the worst. I don't know, insurance will cover a loss. If it's in the post office's hands and they never deliver the package, the insurance will cover that, okay? But getting USPS to pay out on a claim for damage is tough, because it is our responsibility as a seller to overprotect that item. You may think that a little bubble wrap in a single box is enough. It's not. The insurance won't cover it. I can promise you right now, it won't cover that. So I am starting to overprotect my items even more than I would have before. That's what I'm doing. I'm preparing for the worst, hoping for the best.
So if you were to overprotect it, though, is that going to raise your ounces by doing that?
It could a little bit. I am going to be starting on a regular basis, sending things out that are going to be over the 16 ounces because of the new items I'm selling. So it's going to go up. Yeah, there's a chance it's going to, you could bump yourself up from 8 ounce maybe to the 12 ounce. Yes. But if you really care about your customer, here's what your customer goes through if they receive something damaged. First of all, it's not a good feeling to open up a box that's damaged. Okay. Right. Now they're like, well, do I want to say anything? Because I've been in that situation where I've actually received damaged items and I didn't want to say anything. So I didn't. I don't want to put anyone in that situation. So now you're going to be reaching out to the seller, and you don't know how the seller, what their practice is or what their experience is. Maybe they don't realize they're responsible, and so they kind of give you a bad time. Well, they are responsible for getting the stuff to you. So let's say the seller does take responsibility and they want to file an insurance claim. Well, the post office is going to ask your customer to take the item and all the packaging to the post office. And sometimes that post office doesn't have an employee available to evaluate that. You're really putting your customer, you're really giving them a huge inconvenience. So I'm not going to give advice on what other people should do, but I am going to overprotect until I kind of see how many people I see in Etsy forums or on YouTube or wherever I go to learn, Nurse Flipper is another good one, if there's a higher incidence of damage going on. Right. That's just what I'm going to do.
Yes, you do, Laura. Got our rings so happy. Good morning, Thrifting with MJ. Bean, your mic. Is anyone going sourcing today? I don't have any plans to. Not anybody else, but not planned anyway. You never know what happens. Ella, good to see you. Hello, good morning, and welcome. Perlini, hello, good morning, and welcome. And if you have, I'm a reseller. Hello, good morning, and welcome. How are you doing? Good to see you. If you have any questions, please make sure to ask in the chat, especially when it comes with Etsy. I've been watching too on when the news came out about the new first class situation. One of the things I do, which I'm not sure if you, because I know I got a ring from you. You had it well packed. But for me, what I've been doing is I buy these foldable boxes. They're really nice and pretty, and you get them in different colors. What I've been doing is because I do use poly bags for that kind of stuff, bubble mailers. But I like the boxes because then you can float it inside of that box before, because then I take and I bubble wrap that and then put that in a suffocation bag and then in a bubble mailer.
Yep.
So you think that may help in that situation? 'Cause
Yes.
it's kind
I'm
of,
a big believer in double boxing.
Yeah.
I did a little sourcing and pricing for boxes yesterday for the 4x4x4 and the 6x6x6. And I think I'm going to be investing in those because my items will fit in the 4x4x4. And then I'm going to double box it into the 6x6x6.
yeah.
And I can still send that. I guess now I need to stop saying first class, but that will go ground advantage.
Yeah, there's
So
called ground advantage now. And anything under that category, you will get $100 insurance on that.
right. But remember, I got insurance. It's okay. USPS does not easily pay out for damaged. Lost, yes, but they wait. They consider lost 30 days. And that's, can be inconvenient for your customer, but that's just how it is.
Yeah, because if you're filing a claim, you have to go to your local post office. You have to bring the package and how was it packaged when you got it before they do anything. And I have heard horror stories of the customer doing that. And then when they get to that post office, the counter person says, well, our postmaster isn't here right now. And they send them to a different post office. I mean, they don't want to deal with it. If you believe everything you hear, but why would somebody make that up? One lady went to 3 post offices and still couldn't get help. That's frustrating. Yeah. But yeah, the post office, because I've had that happen. I literally had to bring the packaging, how it was when I got it, bring it to them and show them because it was damaged. Mm-hmm. And the first thing they told me was it was not packaged correctly, so they cannot file a claim. Yep. Yeah. And it wasn't a small item. It was a big item. But yeah. And I think what it was is because it was a big tin hood for like display for NASCAR. It was Dale Earnhardt. Mm-hmm. And there was so many dents in it from just being bubble wrap. That's all it was. There was no styrofoam. There was nothing to protect it. The box was completely damaged. So yeah. And they said no, it was not packaged correctly. Well, and if the post office doesn't pay for the damage, if you're the seller, you are responsible for taking care of that customer. It is your responsibility to get it there. Congratulations, Jeffrey, but don't keep putting that in the chats, Jeffrey. We don't want you to lose subscribers by doing that. That's not a good word to be putting in the chat all the time because you're doing it too many times. Be careful with that, Jeffrey. We've had our own troubles with the post office refunding damage that they have done in the and one of the things that's so funny is when you get it, it's got a big old sticker on it. Damaged but when delivered, and then they take a picture of it. Okay. Well, that means that thrifting with MJ Beans, you must be packaging your items correctly. Yeah. That's what it tells me, is that you're doing it correctly and something else is happening. Yeah, and it's just something you got to be careful with because you got to think of it this way. When you're shipping those things out, you need to pack it the way you want it to come to you. Yes. Well, oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. That's okay, Jeffrey. I'm just trying to help you. Not being repetitious about that same comment. Let's see. Would you consider adding extra insurance if I was watching Nurse? She does. And that, that's a great thing. You can add more insurance. And you offer that on your items. It's up to $100. And there has been not many times. I don't often have a package off that's over $100 and I want more insurance. Sometimes there's more than 100 in there and I just let it go because I'm mostly self-insured. But there's this year I had one for almost $500 go out and I did put extra insurance on it. And you can do that through Pirate Ship and probably all the platforms. Yeah, I was watching Cat Flippers this past Tuesday. I did the rewatch, of course, because I forgot she was on that late. And that was one of the things she was talking about, how, if she sells something for $1,000, she's going to make sure it's insured for that at least by the amount that's sold. And then she doesn't charge the customer because she wants to make sure it gets there. And again, if you got a good profit margin, you might want to protect yourself on that. I only have to send pictures. The buyer sent me pictures. I asked the picture of the double wrap, and the post office seems to have run over the box. Yeah. They fall off and they run over them. I know. Protect them. Exactly, Perlini. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's something you got to think of. Would you want that sent to you? If you're sending it out, would you want that sent to you that way? Let's see. Sorry, she would be Buy the insurance for $1,000. Sorry. No, that's all right. We understood, Jamie.
Yeah, I would. If I had $1,000 package going out, I would buy the insurance, but it would also have to be signature required, and I would also let the customer know ahead of time that this is going to arrive signature required.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely protecting yourself on that one, especially when you got a big price like that. Mm-hmm. You want to protect yourself, but also protect the customer too, in case they say they never got it. Never did know that. Yep. You can always insure it for the more than 100, and it's so much per 100 extra. But again, I personally I've done that a couple of times for some things that I've sold before. But it's more of that insurance in case if something was to happen. But like Laura said, I also add the signature so they can sign for it. You just want to
believe it's 80 cents per $100. I believe.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I have a customer take pictures of a broken item in packaging. Send it to me, and I filed claim at UPS online. I have only had 2 claims so far. 20. Wow, Pam, that is
very good,
awesome.
Pam. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not had any claims with the USPS. But again, knock on wood, is in 4 years I've been selling. So, but you know that just that one time is going to take for something to fall off of a truck and somebody roll over it, and it's out of our control. And again, you know, I know sometimes you hear a lot of people get the bad raps for those who are postal clerks. You know, those that deliver the mail. But there's a lot of people who really take care of the packages, you know, and you got some of those that just don't care. I know they've been having.
I think some things are accidents, though. I mean, something could accidentally fall off a truck and a forklift could accidentally run over it. I mean, I don't think everything is on purpose.
Right. It's just a matter of the way it looks when you get it sometimes. So any updates that we need to know about with Etsy as far as other than the new postal thing that's going all across the board for all platforms?
Well, I've been checking the last several days. There haven't been any new announcements out on Etsy's platform. They have a section in their forums for announcements. I haven't seen anything, and I haven't seen any major reoccurring posts written by Etsy shop owners other than, and this isn't new, the holds on payments. That's continuing to go on, but I have not seen anything, honestly. If anybody else has, I missed it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It's not on the platform.
Jamie says it's good. Cool, good to know. I received about a handful of broken things in my recent months. I haven't reported them, but yeah, you can report it. Usually, again, the buyer usually would have to go bring it, but if they were to send you pictures and you deal with it, I think it's less time when it takes place.
I think one thing that when I received it was a box of smalls and they were breakables. They had reused bubble wrap that already lost some of its bubble. Some of the air was gone, and so it was wrapped, but the bubble wrap had expired, and it did not do its job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know we all like to reuse, but bubble wrap does expire, so it needs to have the air in the bubbles.
Yeah. Let's see. Thomas, hello, good morning, and welcome, sir. How are you doing? Good to see you. I'm trying to type, and I just realized I'm in the wrong chat to do that. All right. Thomas. Terry, hello, good morning, and welcome. How are you doing? Veronica, hello, good morning, and welcome, and how you doing? Let's see. It is worth the price of the peace of mind of extra insurance, signatures confirmed, and highly dollar items. Exactly.
Yes.
Lena, put my jewelry.
Headland is correct. You will sleep better.
Yeah. Put my jewelry in a jewelry box, then put it in. Yeah,
good job, Jennifer.
Yeah, I buy the different size boxes. And of course, you have to fold it and do that. But I think for me, when I started using those boxes, it makes it look better when you're shipping it to somebody, no matter what it is. It's giving that presentation for when they open it. It's like, oh, okay, they just didn't throw it in a Ziploc bag or a suffocation bag kind of thing.
I also, because I use boxes, I put the jewelry in a box, but it's not a super firm box. It's just a pillow box. But then I wrap it so that it's stuffed into the box, like the box couldn't get crushed, so I wrap it so that the box is full and then put it in the bubble mailer.
Perlini says Paper, those messy peanuts also can make a difference. I cannot stand them peanuts.
I don't like peanuts.
It's when you go to open and everything's static electricity and it's sticking to you. I don't like that.
I don't take those. I actually open every box in the garage and sometimes outside because I don't know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Also, people are using grocery bags like bubble wrap. That does not work. That's no. Mm-mm.
I know. You guys, packing materials are going to cost you some money. Unless you live right next door to a Dollar Tree and they'll let you go get everything from them. It's going to cost you some money.
Yeah.
Hi,
hello, good morning, and welcome, Susie. And one of the things too, again, even though you're getting, like if you're on eBay and you get a coupon, you can still use that for other shipping supplies. Granted, you have to use the Etsy or the eBay logos for that, but there's other things you can do without eBay, or there's other websites you can get. Go look to your local supply stores. Go to these other places where you can get a cheaper amount of things for shipping. You don't always have to make these big purchases. Let's see here.
A really good source that I'm hearing, I haven't used it yet for bubble wrap is Bubble Boy. And I know if anybody, John, do you have
I don't use them because I always use recyclables. But what I do with my recyclables, if it's got that point where they're getting cut up and torn, I actually cut them down into smaller pieces because I use a lot of small, I do a lot of used DVDs or gaming discs. And what I do is I cut them into where it fits inside the disc, and I recycle them to where the disc doesn't move, especially when it's not new. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I use a lot of my recyclables for. But again, making sure that those air pockets are there. But I do not use Bubble Wrap right now because I am still going through so much bubble wrap when we move. And so, yeah. We have Veronica says, if you think corn packed peanuts, I'm sending you a good bomb. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? We have a question from Kevin. Never ending saga. It's actually a major problem. Okay.
Never ending. I did bring it up in the beginning because we started to talk about ground advantage. I don't know for sure if first class packages are now going to be handled rougher than they currently are. And I know people are just probably coming in like, why are we talking about bubble wrap? It's just one of the things I'm preparing for my first class packages to possibly being handled rougher because they are now going to be mixed in with really heavy, larger items. So I'm preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. We shall see. I just kind of mentioned that I am going to be protecting my items much more than I did before, and so I don't know if it's going to be a major problem. I'm getting a major thunderstorm. I've got lightning and thunder going on. So if I disappear,
Jeannie Mike makes a good point. A lot of times, if you are, say, you go to the Dollar Tree or the dollar store, or the Family Dollar, whichever, or any particular store, a lot of times, like all these different places have like boxes that are still in great condition, bubble wrap, or different types of supplies. You can get those for free because they're going to recycle it anyway. They're going to throw it into the trash compactor or the box compactor anyway. So you can do that by going out and getting these things for free, especially when they're separating the recycle compared to like they sell food and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. So definitely check in your local retailers. If anyone sends me peanuts, I will refuse it. That's just it. If you don't know until you open it, right? Best way to get packing material for free is ask your local buy nothing group. Okay. What's up, Amy? Hello, good morning, and welcome. Let's see here. We haven't had to pay for bubble wrap in 5 years.
Oh, that's great. That means you're reusing something too. That's fantastic.
I think the oddest box I ever received was an item packed in a cereal box.
Oh, yeah.
Housemark Reseller. What?
Yeah, me too. I've gotten them. Ugh.
I've gotten something wrapped in the Mountain Dew cardboard. Mm-hmm. It was okay because it was something I won on a race for a giveaway for coins. But again, I still got it. It was safe, but it was just pretty interesting. I have been blessed totally haven't been able to get my bubble wrap little box out.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because they do a lot of that there too. So try to get your stuff for free as much as you can. I also reuse Amazon bubble mailers just to remove the labels.
Remove
Yes.
the label.
Yes.
All the bubble mailers that I get, I take all the labels off completely, and I use those like in between, like if I do a 4x4 box, and then you'll find some used mailers in between the 4x4 and the 6x6.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to reuse. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too, as long as they're not damaged or torn. Yeah.
Right.
Patrick, if you know he's got a lot. Uh-oh. Somebody's getting a glitter bomb.
Oh, I love it.
Let's see. That's what I do, Veronica. Awesome. Let's see. And each your furniture stores also. Yeah, and there's all different places you can get those. Yeah. Anybody have any questions about Etsy? Please feel free to ask in the chat. We want to make sure we get those answered for you. I feel weird we're using boxes from the Dollar General for Etsy. Well, one of the things is like you don't have to. Well, depending on what it is, I would be very selective on those type of boxes, of course. Beauty supplies, rent centers, bubble wraps. Yeah, and you get a lot of boxes that are plain anyway. So I do not resell. Let's see here. I don't see any questions coming in. Let me go through the chat here because this is flying. All right, let's see. I also use a crap ton of bubble mailers in recent moves. That does help. I mean, it's always great to reuse and recycle. You can also get paper or local newspapers at the end rows. Yes. Let's see here. You know, you can also buy those at the Dollar Tree and Dollar Store. They do sell them by the roll too. Or at your Home Depot and Lowe's. They sell them as well by the roll if you need that type of stuff as well. All right, so I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and open the links to the panel if you'd like to come on and either join us and talk about Etsy. But first, before I do that, I want to go ahead and drop all the links for Jennifer. And again, she does not drop her own links. She's always dropping everyone else's, and she's doing that on her phone. So please do me a favor and check out her channel. She has been putting out some content, as well as check out her Etsy store, because a lot of that stuff that she does unboxing goes to her Etsy store. And these are just some of the ways you can help others and support other channels. Remember, if you do go to somebody's channel and you like their content and you subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification. But most importantly, go back, leave a comment, and give them a thumbs up. And if you're in anybody's channel and they tell you to drop your link, don't drop your link to your channel. Drop a link to a video. So far, it seems to be working, so that's why I'm passing that on to you. So if anybody's interested, the link is at the top of the chat. Facebook Marketplace always has free shipping supplies. Facebook Marketplace? I would have never thought about checking on it, but I don't need it because I got so much of it. And then again, always remember, if you're recycling any type of packing material, especially boxes, the boxes do tear down in time of use. So always make sure you check your boxes that you're going to reuse. And make sure that it's not damaged in any way, because then those need to go in the recycle bin. Everybody have a great day. All right, Jeannie, thank y'all so much. Don't forget, if you have not checked out Jeannie and Mike's new, I have it already queued to save for watch some more videos. They've been doing some dumpster diving videos. Y'all gotta watch it. Yeah, I gotta watch it. I gotta get into the rabbit hole to get caught up. All right, do you guys make an extra effort to do your guys extra efforts to do you guys send higher priced items in fancier boxes or then treat them as lower priced items? Laura?
I don't. All my packing materials, I do buy packing materials, mailers, the boxes, I use the little bubble pouches because they're super inexpensive and they're fast. That's another thing. If you have small items, those little bubble pouches are about 5 cents a piece. And I can even show what they look like, and there's different sizes. No, I don't distinguish between how much the order total is at all. This is a little bubble pouch, and it opens up.
I love those.
Item in there. It has a self-sticking, this little white tab pulls.
Yeah.
And so I put my item in here. I put a business card right here, and I fold this over. And this goes into a box, which goes into a bubble mailer. That's what I've been doing. But everyone gets the same treatment. Everyone gets the same little note from me, thank you note. Sometimes if there's a lot of items and it just it won't be fitting in the boxes, I have to use a Ziploc bag to get everything in there. But those customers usually pay more. But my biggest thing is I want to get it to you. I don't want the person to have that moment of opening a package and being disappointed. I try to avoid that if at all
And for
possible.
me, every order is just as important no matter how much they spend. So for me, I think going out of that way of just giving that extra little touch to a package means a lot to a lot of people, no matter how high or how little they spend. 3XS, I'm not sure what that's about.
Back in the early days of Etsy, and I don't know if it's really happened so much the last 2 years of Etsy, but back in the my first year, my first 8 years, 9 years of Etsy, people would place an order for one item. And you never know who it's going to be, but it would end up being a test, because then a week to 10 days later, a big order would come through. And, that always made me feel good. I passed the test. So
Mark,
there were.
go ahead. Mark, I wonder why you don't send anything in the mail. Everything that's picked up at your house. Using packing leaves? Yeah, okay. No. Okay, I'm going to go back to this one real quick. I'm a reseller, wants to know about, interested in upgrading my membership. Can you talk a little bit more about the $24.95 membership in regards to helping with YouTube growth? What I do is a lot of behind the scenes. For example, if you had an issue and you needed more detailed help behind the scenes, I will be there to help you. But then I go into more detail step by step, other than like my how-to videos, but also the list of things that you have. I do in each level. I do go above and beyond to make sure that you get any answers that you need taken care of behind the scenes. So that's what I mean by helping you in regards to your growth. I cannot help you unless you do some of the things that I suggest are my opinions. But I only have things that I share are things that I'm doing that's helping me, that I help you. But if you have like a list of questions and you need a time slot, just let me know. Reach out to me. If you are that level member, I will take that extensive time with you for that. Let's see. Regarding, we are reading an Etsy forum. More and more sellers are getting a 75% hold on their payouts. What is that all about? A 90-day hold now?
Yeah, and Penland, I was wondering if maybe I was one of the first people, because I did talk about it last time I was on. And I thought, well, maybe people haven't experienced this yet, or maybe they don't have time to go on the forums during the summertime. It is rolling out, and I did have a lot to say about it on the last show, but I will try to remember most of it, because this is the biggest thing that's going on, especially if it's happening to your account, and those of us are wondering, oh my gosh, when is it going to be my turn to get this hold? And one of the first things I was going to say is be prepared. Again, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. This is currently happening to a lot of shops that are outside of the United States. They're getting the holds put on. It's rolling out slowly, number one. Number two, it is happening to people who don't upload tracking. Whether you have to upload that manually because you're buying your labels at the post office, or whether it's done automatically because you're buying your shipping labels through Etsy or Pirate Ship, and your Pirate Ship is connected to Etsy. The other folks that are having this rolled out are people who have long processing times. I currently use 1 to 2. I think 1 to 3 is pretty standard. If your processing time is, I don't know where Etsy's cutoff is. I don't know. But let's say you have a processing time of 2 weeks, because I don't know if 1 week is long enough for this to happen. But let's say a shop has processing time of 2 weeks. So a customer pays on Monday, July 1st. By Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you could have that money in your account and have never shipped the item. Those people are getting holds. You won't, and it's rolling out, not everybody. You won't be able to get all of your money before you ship the item. Now, if you're a shop with a hold on your account, once you ship the item and Etsy has tracking, and they can start to, not just a tracking number, there needs to be some scans happening with the post office, because people could fake track numbers or never take the item to the post office. So it has to start to be scanned and moving through. Sometimes it actually has to be delivered. So it's up to 90 days. Once the item is delivered, you should have access to your money as long as the rest of your shop is in good standing. Now, the speculation that's out there, and I actually agree with the speculation, is that Etsy is testing, and I have the same speculation on some of the other things that they test, not just this. They're testing how far they can push shop owners. What will our reaction be if we get a hold on our account? Will we stay or will we go? So they're rolling it out slowly. And I'm, how do I say this? Because there's so much I want to say. I want to get it all out. It isn't necessarily a bad thing. I actually agree for the purpose of the safety of the marketplace that there be a hold, because there are a lot of selling scams going on everywhere, but they are on Etsy too. And they really amplify in October, November, December. They are just rampant out there. So if it protects the customer, and if it protects the marketplace, if it protects Etsy from having to pay out for all the scams, that's fees that we honest people have paid in are being used to cover scams. So it will hopefully help keep fees down or keep fees from increasing again. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, these holds. Now, I'm prepared if my account should have a hold and they hold 75% of the money. I figure at the most it's going to be a week before I can access my money. I have a slush fund that will cover me for more than a week. I mean, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. What I have not seen people say is that they never get their money. Maybe a scammer will never get their money, but I have not heard anybody yet say that I never got my money because of a hold. They do get their money.
My experience with this is when I first started, my first few sales, they wouldn't release the money until I already had like 1 to 2 day handling time. So I got my package out quickly. But as soon as the customer got it and went in and did if it was within 3 days of delivery, they would either give me a feedback and they would release my money, or after 3 days it was delivered, they would then Etsy would release it. Now, in the last couple of sales I've had recently, they have not held my money anymore. They just automatically release it. As long as I'm uploading and doing the tracking, at the end of that day, my money's being released the next morning. It's in my account. So I'm noticing a change. So
the keys are upload tracking, get that package to the post office on time so that the scans are happening. Have the shortest processing time you can that you can still stick to. I mean, one day you might miss a 1 day every once in a while, and that's not good for your shop score. So 1 to 2, 1 to 3. But if you have long processing time, expect a hold. And it's not necessarily a bad thing for Etsy to keep the marketplace safe. Because if you've ever been that buyer who got scammed, you would be happy to know that you could get your money back and that it didn't come out of their profits.
Yeah. And again, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're also protecting the customers. But the best thing about it is, as long as you're doing your part, you're getting it out there, you're getting the tracking on there, you got it in the mail like you're supposed to. And again, if you're new, they are going to do this.
Yes.
But if you're not, and that's just my opinion, again, just like you were saying, if you have that longer handling time, that may be why they're doing that, because then you're not doing an active, quickly return or shipping label. We have a question from Jamie. Those little bubble packs that you had with the little full zip, where did you get those?
eBay. And if you want to know, I'd have to go look it up, the actual seller I get them from, because I buy them 500 at a time. and it's so inexpensive. I will, Johnny, I'll get you the link. Maybe if someone else comes on, I'll have time to go look for the link right now. But yeah, I love these. These save a lot of time, and they're nice and poofy. There's something else I was going to say about the holds. If you're somebody, and here's another thing to think about, if you have a lot of damage claims on your account at Etsy, where you're having to refund, or maybe Etsy's, there's a lot of cases being opened up because things are arriving damaged, that could get a hold, because if you don't refund the customer, then somebody's going to have to refund that customer, and you could get a hold to make sure that there are no complaints after the sale.
Right. And it goes back to saying, treat your customers the way you want to be treated.
It really comes down to good selling practices that you need to practice on all of the platforms, even YouTube, where we're not really regulated. You need to use good seller practices.
Yeah.
You'll feel better about yourself if you do.
Yeah, that the Peddling Prophet says the same thing. And they keep. I finally realized who Duane is in the chat. Every time I see it, I didn't know it was Peddling Prophets. Because let's see, good to know that we have 3 to 4 day shipping on bigger, smaller items is 1 to 2. Okay. Everybody's talking about feedback and quick and all that. Okay, my first reselling video, a guy never used bubble. Wait, sold a coffee cup. He never bubble wrapped them, put them in a thin mailer, and said they got their destination safe. I don't know about that one. Good morning, Nana. How are you doing? And Kevin says not paying sellers for 90 days is a bad thing.
Right. But if someone isn't getting paid for the whole 90 days, that means there was never tracking, or they had a 90-day processing time. It's up to 90 days.
Yeah.
Up to. So if you have a hold on your account and so you get an order on July 1st, you ship it on July 3rd. Tracking starts to happen, updating with post office 4, 5, 6, then your money is released. It's up to 90 days, you don't wait the whole 90 days if you're an honest person. That's a huge, huge discrepancy that's out there.
Well, again, it's not a full 90 days, it's up to 90 days. You got to make
sure 90 days, y'all.
It's not necessarily that. And that's just, if you think about it, even on eBay, and on PayPal, it is also the same thing there. If you are new or just starting out, or you just started doing invoicing for some auctions you're doing, they also have that same stipulation of the 90 days. They can hold your money up to 90 days if you're not putting in tracking numbers, if you're not shipping the items out and that kind of stuff. But they, as a new person on any of those platforms, that is the same thing with them. They can, not say they will, but they can hold it up to 90 days until the person you're sending those items to receive it and or either give you feedback or they say that they got it. Because a lot of times if you're starting out, the buyer has to say that they received it so they can release your money. So that's just some things you got to realize when you're starting out on any platform or anything that you're selling.
It was that way on eBay too.
Yeah.
You had to get confirmation from the customer.
Right. So when in doubt, ship it out. Don't sit on it.
Yeah, with tracking.
But the thing is, it's so funny you say that, because I hear a lot of people saying that they're not getting their items. They're not getting their items. Well, did you go in and report it? Like, say, for example, it's on an online auction and it's through my PayPal. You can also go in there and claim that you haven't gotten your items to where they can put a tracking on it. What happened? What's going on? Then, that's the same thing. Either way. You also have a certain amount of sales for them. Yes, another thing.
There's a minimum threshold of
like 90 days.
$5 in your account, they're not going to pay you.
Yeah, like $100 in sales or $1,000 in sales, and so many items you got to sell 100 and this, that. There's so many different stipulations. There's so many different reasons. But the thing about it is, remember, if you're just starting out and you're not getting your money right away, it's because you're new and they want to see how your business ethics are going to go and not work against you. Seller Stacker, hello, good morning, and welcome. How are you doing? I think it's under $20 to $25. It takes
somewhere around $20 or $25. She's correct.
Yeah. What's up, Fort Seg Jack? How you doing, Mike? Good to see you, Mike.
So if you did sell one lower item on Etsy and your account's sitting at $19, You're going to need a slush fund if you needed that $19 to go buy a mailer or some postage or something. You're going to need that slush fund. And that actually brings me to something else that I was going to discuss today. And we'll see if we get any follow-up, if it's even people are even thinking it's July. And a lot of us have Christmas in July. And this is a good time, I think, if you're preparing for Q4, it's a good time to have a slush fund. Then you need to also start buying all my packing now that I'm going to need for December. I stock up now. Things are moving through the system faster now than they are. Like if you run out in December, you might be up a creek without a paddle. You're going to have to go to Walmart and pay their price. So I tend to buy those things now. I get all my boxes, my ribbon, everything. July and August, I stock up. Then I start working on listings and start buying supplies. Supplies, not just silverware, but jump rings, split rings, magnets. I stock up on all the things I know that even if I have a failed year, I know I'm going to use those coming up. So those are things to kind of start preparing for if you're interested in a good Q4.
And that's another thing. We had that conversation, I want to say Wednesday. Granted, we're just starting in Q3, but you got to be ready. And like Laura was saying, you got to prepare for Q4. You got to think ahead. Again, granted, we just are in Q3, but guess what? You have all these different following holidays coming up. You got your fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Those are kind of things that you want to start listing now. Think about how much that's going to use, how much packing material you're going to need for that kind of stuff. Have your boxes ready, have anything you need packed and ready. So that way you can start looking and then finding where you can get your shipping supplies and be ready. Because let me tell you one thing, if you have not experienced Q4 yet, be ready.
Oh, I have a Q4 story I could tell, but I won't. But I sure learned a lot. I ran out of toner. I lived in a small town. It was going to be an hour and a half drive to get to some toner. I ran out of toner and I couldn't print a label. I mean, I ran out of literally everything. I met the UPS driver at the door and he says, I can tell by that look on your face, you're waiting for this. I said, yeah, I need this so I can start shipping stuff. It was bubble mailers, trying to get bubble mailers delivered in December. So I learned the hard way. I literally ran out of everything one December. I ran out of tape.
Tia Nana, thank you for asking this. So she's asking, is it only for items for Etsy, to sell on Etsy?
Oh,
is it only items that you create or make, correct?
No, Etsy, there are much wider things that you can list on Etsy. The three main categories are vintage, handmade, supplies. Vintage, Etsy defines a vintage as 20 years or older, and there's a slim chance that they're going to make you validate that it's actually vintage. You can't say I inherited it from a family member who passed away 20 years ago. That's just in their terms of use in their handbook. You have to be able to establish that it is for sure 20 years or older for vintage. Yeah. Handmade, it must be made by you. It can't be your neighbor made it, or you found something handmade at the thrift store or the garage sale. It must be handmade by the person who owns the shop. And supplies must be inherently a supply. I found this a shocker because it's a good idea to go through what can and cannot be sold on Etsy, or you're welcome to ask here. But I found out by reading the handbook that blank sweatshirts, many of us use blank sweatshirts to hand make things, are not considered inherently a supply. So Etsy, even though they're listed there, Etsy does not think that a blank sweatshirt is a supply. So, and the other thing I was going to say is that if you go onto Etsy and start to search blank sweatshirts and you see them pop up as a supply, you're thinking, oh, well, I can do it. Searching on Etsy for available items is not enough research to find out if your item is okay to sell. Not every vintage item is okay. We can't sell ivory. Okay. Not every handmade item is okay. If you're insulting a person or a group of people, that may not be okay, even though you made it. So each category has its do's and don'ts, but those are the basics.
All right, Mike says postcards on Etsy, and Jennifer answered it as far as long as it's vintage or handmade, Mike. Let's see here. I want to go back to Kevin had a statement up here. He put dragging out all of the Department 56 crap I just buried in storage. Yes. And then remember, that sells all year round. But yes,
yeah, and collectors of Department 56, as long as the condition is the condition a collector would want, there's a good chance you can get more money for it on Etsy, because on Etsy, and this is not an absolute, this is a general statement, okay? Mm-hmm. A lot of collectors go to Etsy because they are okay with paying a little bit higher price. They expect good condition, they expect good communication, they expect good packaging. So they go to Etsy. That's just what they want, and they're willing to pay for that.
And Jennifer makes a good
general statement. It's not an absolute.
Yep.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And it's true, because I've even listed things where if I have my little sticky notes, if I listed on, say, eBay and Etsy, mm-hmm. I 9 times out of 10 will sell it first on Etsy before I do eBay, and it's going for more money on Etsy than eBay. So that's why I write all the notes like that.
And you're fulfilling their expectations, though. You have good listing titles, good photos, good items, good packaging. Right. So you're fulfilling that.
I'm trying. But again,
you're not just trying, you're doing it, Johnny.
Well, the thing about it, too, is if, for example, I didn't know about the tags, we had that conversation on one of the shows. And I think Tommy, the Bargain Effects, had that one of the questions, and he did the same thing where we went on ahead and started changing things from that question. And it started helping, and I'm getting more sales, I'm getting more views, I'm getting more likes, that kind of stuff. So
yes,
you got to do it. Got to do the work.
Tags are important, and I showed you the shortcut for tags too. So,
okay, what is the best thing to buy with your eBay coupons? I get $25 a quarter. Anyone of anything? Okay, if you use, for example, if you don't need bubble wraps or you don't need bubble mailers, and you're doing a lot of boxes, so to say, find out what is your best or most used size box that you use, and start, because they usually you can get them within 25 or 50 in a bundle or more. But I try to stick within like 25 or 50 at a time, but try to make sure you get what you use the most. Say, for example, I know with you, Yvonne, you do a lot of albums. There's those special boxes that you can get. It's 13.5 by 13.5 by 2, where you basically do all the folding and you put it for like albums and our books. That is something that if you do a lot of sales with those and you do a lot of shipping with those are some of the things you may want to think about getting. And those come in a package, I think, of 50 or 100. So try to think of what you use the most. And as my opinion, use those as for your coupon, because no matter which ones or what amount you get, all that helps to build up for Q4. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. That's what I do. Look at going back into school, and that's what we do every Friday here, Mike. Let's see. I got tape last time, and that's another thing you can also do. They got tape. They got the regular tape, and I like using, especially with my boxes, they have the tape, and I don't know. I know there's a special name for it, but it has these wired like a material in it that's like thread. I love using those on boxes. It's a very good product, and you can get it with or without eBay signs on it. But anything you go on your coupon, it has to have the word eBay logo on it. So that's my opinion. Tape before that last out. Yes. And you can get great deals on those too. Let's see. More money on Etsy, and customers are awesome. Never had any scammers or low balls. Exactly. I love it. What are you talking about? Tags.
Okay. Etsy has, it's kind of unique to the Etsy platform as compared to all the other e-commerce sites. They have this section during the listing process. One of the sections is tags that we get to enter our own tags, which I actually kind of like being in charge of it's search terms, I kind of like to be in charge of that in the early days, because the fact that I knew how to use my tags, I really think helped me. Other places like eBay, we're not in charge of how they search us other than our title. So the tags we get 13 tags. They can be 20 characters or less. And you divide them with a comma. So let's say Johnny has, like you had a great piece of jewelry, you definitely are going to want your tag to be vintage jewelry or brooch, or you want to use colors, anything that someone would use to search that would be correct to find your item. And we get 13 of them that are 20 characters long. They can be multiple words. You can use gift if it's a giftable item. There's lots of things you can do. Color, size, style if it's Art Deco. And we get to be in charge of that. And I see that as a plus.
All right, I'm looking up the link for that item you were asking about.
Okay.
For the record, and for some reason I don't see them anymore. I went back to my what I bought.
Rita.
Let's see real quick if I can find it for you. They even have the coffee mugs that I buy on the eBay for that. Guess what? They don't have them available right now. They must be out. I don't see it on eBay right now. They're out on the record mailers. But as soon as I see they're available, I can drop the link for it. But they're out right now. That's why you can't find them, Yvonne. Let's see here. They also have more than records, 45 mailers. Yep. You can also use them for the ones with the books too. Just stick albums in a pizza box. What?
Oh. New pizza box, right? Our pizza boxes are really fragrant.
Good morning, Rita. I would not be buying nothing like that from you, Mom, Mr. Kevin. When listing tags, use the target longness. And the best thing about it, I don't know, I was looking for this at the same time. I learned a little trick with Laura told us about copying your label, your title, and then go into the tags and just put commas in it. And it's like, that was a game changer. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my little secret I got from you on that one. I thought you would have to be talking about it, but maybe.
Oh, not paper tags.
Let's see. No, never ending. So I'll go with media mailer. 75 cents. Yeah, okay. As reseller, how much growth going around? Oh, okay. They're talking to each other there. Let's see. Where did it go? Right here. Let me change this up a little bit. Ideas to be funny. Yeah, I know. Slim Twiggy, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Let's see here. I'd flip that. I'm looking for any questions. Let's see. A year ago, I used to buy the albums all the time. I used empty mailers, saved. Yep. You can always reuse them as long as they're in good condition. All right, so I'm not seeing any other questions, and it's getting to that time. You got a couple of channels that are going to go live. Remember, we do this every Friday. And then, of course, during the week, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do the morning show where each day is something different with a different topic with Q&As. Always love to hear your questions. And like tomorrow, Monday and Wednesdays is usually anything as far as YouTube, StreamYard, or any platform. Tuesdays is Q&A all about Etsy, eBay. Thursdays is Q&A all about Poshmark. And Fridays is Q&A all about Etsy. Also, don't forget, if you missed the morning shows and you don't want to sit there through the whole shows to go rewatch them, remember, I do have a playlist that I do record and download all the morning shows on a hard drive, and then I upload them by editing them into shorter videos. And when I say shorter, it means just Q&A, all Q&A questions, to make it a little bit shorter, from, say, an hour and 15 to hour and 45 minutes down to 30 to 35-minute videos, so it'd be easier. And also, it's also available in the YouTube podcast. So please make sure you check those out. And that way, if you have any questions and you want to you watch those and have questions, either ask them in that video. And when I get those type of questions, I'll put them on the side for the next show so we can get those down for you and answered. Hello, Janine. Hello, good morning and welcome. Every other week, a lot of work. Sorry, miss. That's okay. You're good. It's all good. I understand. Yep, and we're going to be heading back this Sunday. So next week we'll be back to our regular scheduled program, including Monday night, Fun Night, Bingo Night at 4:30. Don't forget tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Hoosier Stacker with his Hoosier Stacker Bingo. That's 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 Central, with Hoosier Stacker with the Silver Stacker Bingo at 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Come and check it out. I am his co-host every Saturday. May I ask for some subs? What kind you want? Meatball? Pepperoni? Kevin. I couldn't resist that one. Never ending. I connect. I hear that. That's awesome. And you see, like the word subs and stuff, things like that is what you should be using. Things like connect. Don't forget to don't drop your links, because Jennifer's been dropping them in the chat for you. You may ask, but you might not get them to stick. You're right about that. And so make sure that if you're asking or needing subs and you go to watch other channels, please make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure you go back and watch videos, but also make sure you subscribe. Notification is set to all for your notifications. But go back and watch those videos and leave those comments. But also don't forget, when you go to somebody's channel and they say, please drop your link, don't drop your link to your YouTube channel. Drop a link to a video. We're trying to help you have it stick. We don't have it lose over the night. Well, you know how that happens. So before we go ahead and get ready to end the show, don't forget we will be, today we're going to raid Ella with Ella and Save Here First. And Adventures with Victoria are going live at 10. So that'll be at 10 o'clock on Save Your First channel, Allah. So before we get ready to end the show, I want Laura to go ahead and remember to promote your channel, any events you may have coming up. And don't forget that everything about Laura's information is in the description bar below. Jennifer has been dropping it in the chat. But in case if you missed it, go down into the description bar. It's right at the top of the description bar. Inside that top of the box, you'll see her email. You'll see her website and her Etsy store. So definitely check that out and go ahead and promote yourself, Laura.
Sure. My YouTube channel is DzinesLaura, one word. My next sale is going to be a week from today. It's an evening sale. It's part 1. Part 2 will be Monday. The Friday sale starts at 6 Eastern. And Monday is a daytime that starts at 2 Eastern. Part 1, part 2, they'll be invoiced together. And that's important to know because if you purchase one item from me, shipping is $4. If you purchase 2 or more items, shipping is free. So you have 2 opportunities to earn that free shipping. There will be more Christmas in July. I was really blown away by how well received the Christmas in July items were. So I am going to be working very hard this week. Another thing that I do, I just started doing this and it went well. I may put up a quick short video showing you a new item that's going to be available. That went very, very well. I also used my thumbnails. Right now they're just the ring that's on there, but I do have some Art Deco patterns on the way, and if I can get those created and photographed, I will change my thumbnail to show you exactly what I'll be showing. So I like communicating with you all that way, thumbnails and quick videos leading up to the next sale. Thank you, Johnny, for all that you do and having me on. Thank you very much.
And it's always great to have this every week because, again, when I redone this channel, we wanted to go back to the basics. And a lot of people were asking about questions in different platforms. And so that's why I did bring this back. It's something that, again, as long as we have questions and people are interested, I want to continue doing this. And I thank you for being part of this and always being able to make it on Fridays. Also, YouTube is having issues again. Yes, there is some problems going on with YouTube. I haven't experienced it as far as I can hear of chats disappearing if you happen to refresh and things like that. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I have not had that problem yet. So I'm not sure. Chat keeps disappearing. That's what I've been hearing. Also, I want to remind everyone on any of the levels, if you go down to where it says join, I do have a video, but also have a list of descriptions of each level of membership. If you have any other questions, please make sure you do either feel free to join me after any show in the morning, or go ahead and email me and I'll be glad to discuss with you a little bit more in detail for each of the different levels. Also, don't forget that if you're not if you don't have a membership and you want to be thinking about getting a membership gifted, you might want to go back and watch that video about how to turn that on, because if you don't have your gift giving acceptable on, you will not be gifted. As you know, we've been getting a lot of gifts of memberships in the chat. And so please make sure you check into that. and check that video out, because I do go step by step on how to get that turned on, so that way you can enjoy membership for some channel that you're thinking about getting into membership, and that's just another way to help you. But I'm not here to get you where you can grow your channel. Again, I can only teach you, I can only help you, but the rest of it is your work that you have to put into it. It's your hard work. You have to go ahead and help yourself grow on your side. But I can help you as far as getting you there, what to do and how to do. But other than that, that's all I can do.
You have to do the doing. Johnny, you gave a tip. I don't know if it was 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I made a change on my channel where we had the different sections on our homepage of our YouTube channel, and then the top section on mine is now my upcoming lives. Yeah, that was an excellent tip. Excellent.
Yeah. Again, and that's another thing I've been seeing lately, because I've been doing a lot of channel hopping. If I know somebody's coming live and I go to their main, because me, it's a habit. I go to their main page, and I cannot find it on their page. It's like you're doing yourself more damage than helping, because we got to really search for it now. Like in Jennifer, for example, I don't know how she finds the links for the channels, but the interesting thing is how fast she finds links. But not everybody's doing that. So thank you for pointing that out, because that is important to help you grow your channel when it comes to upcoming videos.
And I think that's why it came up, because Jennifer, she finds it, but it's easier for her to find it if it's on the home page. And let me tell you something else. Here's the new business card I've been giving out. That QR code goes to my YouTube channel, the home page on my YouTube channel.
Go, girl.
Now people, the first thing they see is the upcoming live, which is where I want people to go. I don't want them to go watch something old. I want them to come to my next live sale. So yeah, that was an excellent tip.
Also, don't forget, this is a great point I've been talking about throughout the show too as well. The biggest thing is to connect to another channel. Just don't connect and leave. Go back, watch those videos, and you have to leave a comment and give them a thumbs up. Let them know what you think about the channel. Leave them a comment. Did you like it? Did you think something was wrong with it? You might want to change, or there's so many different things that people love ideas, but be cautious on the way you're wording your words, because remember, it's not what you say, but how you say it. But at least constructive criticism can help some others. But you got to remember, watch how you say it. But again, definitely make those comments. With all comments are gone. Well, hopefully you don't delete anything. It's anonymous. Annoying. Yeah, that is annoying. And so that's why I made that point about how to do that, because I learned how to do that within my first year or two on how I created my whole page. But if it wasn't been for me not finding it out, I would have never done it, because I didn't do it for the first few months.
Another thing, though, about handing out criticism, especially if you're going to hand out criticism that wasn't asked for, at the very minimum, you better sandwich that in between 2 compliments.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to be critiqued constantly over and over and over, especially while they're on a live sale. It's not a good time to do it. Sometimes I think critiques might be good if you know the person well enough. Maybe do that privately. But if you're going to put that on someone's channel and it wasn't asked for, I don't know. I personally wouldn't do it. I don't like to hand out critiques. I would sandwich that between a couple of compliments. I'd be very, very careful, because
and I just realized how I said that, so thank you for catching.
No, you said it fine, but I just, it needs to be, I would, especially if the person, sometimes people will come in and ask for a critique. You still need to do it kindly. But if that's the only thing you're doing, if the only thing that's coming from you is a critique, it's going to wear on the person. It starts to not feel right, and they probably won't change anything.
And I'm glad you said that, because for me, I'll do like a comment, like and that's another thing I use a lot of comments with. If I meet somebody for the first time, hi, it's great to meet you. I like your content. I'm looking forward to watching more. Thank you. I met you in so-and-so's chat. Because that kind of helps them put your name together with where they saw you at before. Now, if I have somebody I know and there's something that I would help them improve, I won't be leaving a comment in their comment section. I do email them. So I find them on Facebook if they have an Instagram or Facebook page.
Jennifer, let me point out, like Jennifer, she did the perfect thing. And if I hope that it seems like Jennifer might have said, I was having a hard time finding your live, which wasn't a critique. It was starting the conversation of, let's get your lives easy to find. I thought that was a perfect segue, and it helped us all. And I'm not picking on you, Jennifer. I just thought that was a perfect way to say it.
But you know what Jennifer does also? If she can't find something, she'll mention it to you, because that makes you think, oh my God, did I leave it private? Did I set it? Did I forget? Whatever. And in my case, I love it when she tells me, Johnny, I cannot find, I don't see feature channel of the week.
Yeah.
So that's like, oh my God, I forgot, you know? So yeah,
instead
that's
of saying, of saying you didn't do this, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I can't find it. Yeah. So thank you very much, Jamie, for the super chat, super sticker. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. And this is for you.
The dollars. Let me have it, please. I got the dollars. Let him have. You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it. With no problem. Let him have it.
All right, I'm trying to get through the comments because I see a few comments coming through. Johnny, just as long as Johnny knows his show is adequately. Oh, thank you, Kevin. And I try to do the best I can. Sometimes, you know, you can only give out the information and help those that we can help. How do you turn off comments on videos? If you don't want anybody to do comments, you're going to have to turn it in for available for kids. If you're doing like very short, because I think Jeffrey, you do a lot of short videos. So you're going to have to turn it off when you're setting it up. But I think on short videos, you can't turn that off. But I know on regular videos, you can make it for kids. Unless you want to pick your whole channel for kids and no comments. That's up to you. You can do that as well. Let's see. Someone said, I like your content, but music was a bit loud, and I appreciate the feedback. There you go. And it's just, remember, it's not what you say, but how you say it. Mm-hmm. We're having a sale on Harold's Simply Adventures today at 12 Eastern. Good morning, Christy. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how you doing? Good to see you, Christine. All right, so what we're going to do is we want to raid. It's got about another 2 minutes before Ella goes live. She goes live at 10 with Victoria today. And so if we would, let's raid Ella's channel with her live at 10 o'clock. So if you happen to come back and rewatch this video and you have any questions, please make sure you do leave those questions in the private chat or in the chat of the video, or just email me. And I'll make sure to have these ready for you on the next show.
And I'll get the link for these too for next week.
Thank you. Okay. Or you can even do it on Monday when we talk about eBay, or Etsy on Tuesday. Either way.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And that's one of the things. Remember, Monday through Friday, every morning is a Q&A of some type. So if you have any questions or you're thinking about getting into something, you can also, what it says, Margie? I will try to do that tomorrow. Yeah, you got to change it to your other made for kids if you don't want questions. All right, there's the link for the raid to Ella's live, and that's at 10 o'clock. So as I say before I end each and every show, thank y'all very much for always coming out and showing your love and support to the channel. Thank you for always participating in the Q&A questions, because that's one of the things I enjoy doing. And of course, I'm glad to see that Laura can make this and we make it a show, you know. So as I say before I end each and every show, have a great weekend. Looking forward to seeing y'all back in Massachusetts next week for our regular scheduled program. So with that being said, like I say before I end each and every show, love always, love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day. Have a great weekend. And until we meet again later, peace out. And y'all come back now you're here. And if you want to come on after the show's over, the link is still at the top of the chat. Have a great weekend.